It's been a while since I've talked about Pastor Jeff Jansen, but I want to introduce you to him once again because I don't think I've talked about this guy for nearly a year or some maybe 6 months. I'm not sure. It's been a while. So let me give you a refresher on who this guy is. Leading up to the 2020 election, the Trump Biden election, there were a bunch of pastors who claimed that God gave them divine insight, gave them prophecy. They said that God told them Trump was going to win the 2020 election, and he was one of those people. So what happened after Biden was inaugurated? They disintegrated. They couldn't handle it. Jeff Jansen specifically refused to accept it, continued to go out there and talk to these massive platforms. This guy on the left here, Steve Schultz, he's got a platform of around 400,000 listeners on Facebook. 400,000 listeners. So he goes on this show, among others, Jeff Jansen does, and he's telling people that it's just going to be one more day, one more week, one more year. Just wait. Trump is going to take office again. This is early February 2021 when he made this appearance. Let's give this one a watch and see what he had to say to our Mr. Steve Schultz here.
There was inauguration. He put his hand on a Bible or a supposed Bible. Someone said it's upside down. I don't know if it was, but they put a hand on a...
God, they love engaging in conspiracy theory, don't they? Steve Schultz claiming that Biden put his hand on an upside down Bible. That's nonsense. It was just a fucking Bible. And by the way, we shouldn't be using Bibles for swearing in anyways, but I'm not going to go down that road right now. We're talking about Jeff Jansen. Let's continue.
On a Bible, said the right words, and now people say, okay, now he's our president. Now we have to pray for our president.
Look at this guy on the right getting really pissed off. You know, swinging that seatbelt around. Oh, let me adjust this seatbelt. I'm so upset about this right now.
He's our president. Now we have to pray for our president.
No, he's not our president. He is not, nor will he ever be. And everybody knows there was a red tidal wave. There was a Red Sea moment, which is a red tidal wave. And quite frankly, America voted in Donald J. Trump. President Trump is president. We will be rejoicing in the streets by March, April, May, June.
Wow, that sounds like a very specific prediction to me, right? This guy is specifically predicting that by March, April, May, June of 2021, Donald Trump will be reinstated as president. And he's speaking from a position of authority as a prophet of God saying this stuff. He chose to start with March for a very specific reason. In early 2021, there was this QAnon idea floating around that after the Union rejoined the Confederacy, or vice versa, after the Civil War, what actually happened was they formed into a new company. They didn't form into the U.S. government again. They formed into a new corporation, the Corporation of the United States, and anything that happened past that moment was invalidated because any decisions made, any presidents elected, or anything like that, it was all done under the authority of the Corporation of the United States rather than the government of the United States. So, according to the QAnoners out there, this guy included, the idea is that the U.S. government has only had 18 or 19 presidents. I forget how many exactly. The last president to be elected under the U.S. government was Lincoln, I think, is what they believe. So Ulysses S. Grant onward was invalid. So the idea is that anything that took place after that point is invalid and doesn't count. Well, it just so happens that they changed Inauguration Day from March 4th to January 20th, back in the early 1900s. So they believed that that was invalidated, and they had this idea in their heads, QAnon did, that Donald Trump was going to become the 18th president or 19th president, however many. He was going to be the 18th or 19th president of the United States, and he was going to be inaugurated officially by the military on March 4th, 2021. That's what they believed. They believed that it was all going to come crashing down and the deep state was going to fall to pieces and Trump was going to come riding in on a horse, swinging a sword around, just all this stuff. That's why he started counting at March. That's why he said this was going to happen by March, April, May, June, because he believed Trump was going to be reinaugurated on March 4th. And around that time, we can see like a billion of these televangelists and prophets, self-proclaimed prophets of God, coming out and claiming around March 4th, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, we're waiting. Kat Kerr, for example, came out and banged her little stick around and said Donald Trump is going to be president and all this other stuff.
Right now, I declare and I call forth our president to take his rightful place, Trump, to come forth right now, step into your destiny that God gave you, called you, appointed you, and anointed you for this time to declare over America, to help America. This is his choice, and we call you forth right now in the name of Jesus Christ, who is with you, who will always be with you. The people are with you. The prophets of God are with you. The military is with you. So come forth, step into your destiny now, saith the Lord.
That's what we've been watching happen this entire time leading up to March 4th. That's why he started there. Let's keep watching.
There's going to be an amazing turnaround. You just watch what happens. And the world will rejoice. Not just America, the world will rejoice because of this exposure. And so I'm telling you, that's going to take place. That I'm going down with the ship on this. The Lord showed me.
The Lord showed you, you say. The Lord showed you this. Fascinating, because, here we are. It is now 2022. You said this was going to happen March, April, May, or June of 2021. And here we are. Nothing happened. Trump is still a loser. Biden is still the president making decisions for the country. There is no indication whatsoever that Trump has any amount of power in the country. Let me borrow a phrase from a Mr. Geno Jennings, another televangelist, evangelical extremist pastor, who doesn't side with the evangelicals who made this claim that God told him that Trump was going to be president. Either you lied or God lied. Which one was it? Somebody lied along the way.
I'm not promoting Biden or Harris. Now there's some fella, I don't know who you are, his name is Frank. He said, are you going to speak against Biden and Harris and what the Democratic Party standing for? I spoke against the Democratic Party before I heard of a Biden or a Harris.
Amen.
I speak against everything that's not like God.
That's right.
And Frank, I don't know who you are, but if you one of them ones that said that prophecy, you're on your way to hell too.
That's
Send
right.
all these so-called evangelicals a copy of this message.
That's right.
Send it to their website. Send it to their Facebook.
Yeah.
And ask them one question.
That's right.
Who's the liar?
That's right.
God Almighty or you?
So that's Jeff Jansen. After his March prediction fell flat, after he realized that Trump wasn't going to be reinaugurated March 4th, he came along and made a new prediction. Check this one out.
I've had people email me and say, Jeff, you missed it. You said President Trump was going to be serving back-to-back terms and back-to-back presidency. But there's nothing magical about January the 20th. You have to realize that what's taken place in our nation has been a hostile takeover. And just because there was a fake inauguration, and that's exactly what it was, a fake inauguration for optics and for posture, let them have their day in the sun doing what's going to take place. He never agreed to anything. He never stepped away, never conceded.
Doesn't matter if he conceded or not. It's completely fucking irrelevant. What matters is how many votes were cast for one person over the other person. Biden got more votes, and he got more electoral votes too, not just more in the popular vote. He got more electoral votes, and that's really what matters. I'm not a huge fan of that fact, but that's what it is. He got more electoral votes, and that means he won. Now he is president. I know you don't like that, Jeff. I know that eats you up inside, but here we are, man. Don't claim that God told you something that God didn't tell you. It's just going to make you look silly.
Stepped aside momentarily while things are being sorted out. And he used every available option afforded him to be able to do that constitutionally through the House of Representatives, through the courts. But listen, the court system is corrupt. The Supreme Court is corrupt, corrupt judges, corrupt everything. And he tried. They blocked him at every place they blocked him. Said he didn't have standing in the court system. The president of the United States doesn't have standing in the court system.
That's correct. The president of the United States needs to have standing for very specific cases. Standing has a very specific legal definition. In law, standing or locus standi is a condition that a party seeking a legal remedy must show they have by demonstrating to the court sufficient connection to the harm from the law or action challenged to support that party's participation in the case. In most cases that he was trying to bring, it was just completely invalid. He was claiming that these voters were cheated or whatever else. Well, you have to find the voter, and they have to file the lawsuit. You can't file a lawsuit for somebody else. That's not how it works. And you have to actually find proof of these things taking place before you can actually file a lawsuit. That's just how the court system works. That's how it's always worked. In fact, that's how it's worked since, I don't know, how old is standing? I think standing has existed since like the Middle Ages in Europe. I don't know how old the concept is, but it's fucking old. You can't just walk in and sue anybody for any reason. You have to prove that you are somehow injured and it can be remedied by a lawsuit, that you personally have been injured by something. That's just how this stuff works. That's how the legal system works. And the fact that he's sitting here complaining that Trump doesn't have standing in the legal system tells me he doesn't understand that at all. He doesn't understand the basics of how the legal system works. The basics. I've never taken... okay, let me rephrase. I took a couple law classes in like high school and college, like business law and tort law and a couple of others like 15 fucking years ago, and I understand this stuff. This is like the first thing you learn when you take a class like that. Let's keep listening.
Basically, he's done all that he could do. And when it was all said and done, the House was not able to do it. He stepped aside. He never conceded. And
doesn't matter if he conceded or not, completely 100% irrelevant.
He stepped aside, he never conceded, and the last defense is military. So the military is in control right now.
Is there any evidence for this at all? Any evidence? I'll take anything. Give me a shred of evidence that the military is in control, quote unquote, that the military is operating outside of Biden's command. That is what I would like to see. That's what I would need proved to me before I believe a word this guy says.
They've already made their determination. Now it's about execution. Now it's about returning civil power after the we the people factor. The rightly duly elected president from this past election comes forward and they expose the corruption. There will be civil power restored to the United States, and that president will be Donald J. Trump. Watch what the Lord does, but I believe that April.
Oh, here we go. This is his prediction. You guys ready? Buckle up for this one.
I would be surprised if things don't happen by the end of April. Now, I'm talking the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, which I believe are key dates.
That's some shit, isn't it? He believes that by the end of April 2021, 24th, 25th, 26th are key dates, that the Lord told him this. That is absolutely hilarious. Well, guess what? It didn't end there. His April prediction came and went, and now we're in May of 2021, and he releases another video, another prediction video. This guy can't stop himself but to release predictions. And these aren't predictions, I'm sorry, I'm using the wrong word. They're not predictions, they're prophecies. He releases another prophecy video, a prophecy from God, late May 2021. Give this one a listen.
Hey guys, Jeff Jansen, Global Fire Ministries International. Tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, President Trump, yes, they're calling him President Trump, is going to be addressing the GOP and the nation. I'm not sure if it's televised, probably not. It'll be a live stream for sure. I'm sure he's going to be talking about the 5 states from Georgia, Michigan, Arizona, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. But we'll watch what happens. I said by spring, which starts officially June the 23rd.
Actually, you said by April. And before that, you said by March. And before that, you said he would never get inaugurated. Biden wouldn't. I mean, you keep moving the goalpost here. But please continue. It is endlessly entertaining to watch. Don't let me stop you.
June the 23rd, we'd be dancing in the streets. The Trump administration is on its way in. The Biden administration, the fake administration, Biden's administration is on its way out. I don't care if you like it or not. It doesn't matter. We all know what took place, and God is going to do something amazing in this nation and through this nation. It's revival time. It's revolution time.
This is painful to watch. Well, interestingly enough, this guy actually kind of got kicked out of Global Fire Ministries, which is something that I believe he founded with his wife. There were some rumblings in the evangelical community about what was going on with Jeff Jansen around that time, around the time that this video was filmed that we just watched. This article came out on the Friendly Atheist website, written by Hemant Mehta. It came out May 7th. The title is Christian Ministry Fires MAGA-Loving Prophet for Unbiblical Behavior. So around the time that this video was filmed, Jeff Jansen faced some serious ramifications for some decisions that he made, apparently. Like I said, he was the leader of Global Fire Ministries, and I believe he was even the founder of it with his wife. Global Fire Ministries released this statement to the world May 5th, 2021. Quote, "It's with deep sorrow that Jeff Jansen has been asked by his board to step down as co-senior leader of Global Fire Church and from Global Fire Ministries due to unscriptural and unbiblical behavior. He was asked to step down in April, and this was made public to the church body on May 2nd. A statement was released to partners and friends on May 5th. Due to his pattern of making poor moral choices and bad coping mechanisms, character flaws became obvious, which disqualified Jeff from New Testament leadership. His lifestyle in the home, traveling on the road, and in the house of God has fallen below biblical standards laid out for those in leadership. He has been confronted concerning these flaws numerous times over a period of time. Rather than submit to the process of healing and restoration, Jeff recently made an intentional decision to leave his wife and family to pursue his own desires. He remains unrepentant and unremorseful. Any pursuit of further ministry on Jeff's behalf is not under the umbrella and blessing of Global Fire Ministries. Global Fire Church will continue to thrive. Our church was built on the importance of family, and that will remain. Sincerely, Global Fire Leadership, Team, Board, and Advisors." So he created Global Fire Ministries, which is actually pretty well known. It turns out it's a really big organization, reasonably big one. And now he is no longer a member. He's been kicked out as of May 5th, 2021. So he's out on his own. Well, guess what? Dude had more to say. He's not giving up that easily. He released a brand new clip early January 2022. This is what I wanted to watch when we finally got into this. Dude has made failed prophecy after failed prophecy over and over again all last year, claiming that Trump would be president nonstop. Apparently got kicked out of the church that he created in the first place for immoral decisions. What's he up to early January 2022?
I told people last Christmas, listen to me, I was prophesying about the administration. I was prophesying about Trump.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I remember that. Yeah. You were prophesying about Donald Trump. I appreciate the fact that he didn't say he was predicting things about Donald Trump. He actually used the word prophesying, thus validating the fact that he said this stuff came from God back then. I would have thought that he'd try to back his way away from using the word prophesy here because they fell flat so hard. But no, he accepts it apparently. Let's keep listening.
About Trump. I was prophesying about the elections. I said, watch what happens on Nashville, Tennessee on Christmas morning.
For the record, you may not remember this. I barely remember this. There was an explosion in Tennessee that came from a van at the time. I remember it made the news. So why is he even mentioning this? This is like old shit, right?
Watch what happens. Nashville, Tennessee, Christmas morning. You know what happened in Nashville, Tennessee, Christmas morning? And it wasn't some guy in a van. That was a space war. That was a satellite strike.
What? It was a satellite strike? Okay. This is news to me. Where is this even coming from? No evidence for it, of course. Just wait. It gets even more unhinged.
That was a satellite strike. That's what that was. Taking out the Dominion server building, where all the information for the election was.
Are you kidding me? Christmas morning, it was taking out the Dominion servers? Where is he even getting all of this information? This is fucking bizarre.
They were Baal worshipers, child sacrificing, Luciferian. That's what they were. So much like the Democrats or the Democratos or the Luciferian agenda behind governments. And it's not just America, it's global.
There it is. There's the blood libel. You know, back in the 1940s in Germany, they used to say that these exact lines about Jewish people, they used to say that they were sacrificing kids to Molech or Baal or whatever, to their evil god. They were sacrificing kids. They were eating babies. That's the joke. Atheists used to make that joke all the time. You know, I eat babies. But that's really actually, in real life, an accusation that they used to make against Jewish people in the 1940s. And here we are, once again. History has come full circle. You would think that eventually we would learn from our mistakes. Somehow we keep coming back to this, and that same blood libel trope keeps coming back up.
It's a global system that consumes children's sacrifice and blood and adrenochrome for the purpose of a currency, for the purpose of you know what for.
He's hitting every single buzzword he possibly can. Adrenochrome, for the record, does exist as a chemical, but it's not a drug. It's not used as a drug. It's never been used as a drug. That's just from the Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas storyline. It was a movie. It's fake. You can buy adrenaline if you want. You don't have to get like adrenochrome. You can just buy straight adrenaline. It comes in EpiPens. People have them in their purses. They're not hard to get a hold of. If you want adrenaline, you can just buy an EpiPen. Or, alternatively, you can go skydiving or something. There are a billion options to get adrenaline pumping in your system. Now, as far as adrenochrome goes, it has no medical use. It's not useful at all. It's easily accessible. You can buy it on eBay or anywhere else. It's not hard to find, and as far as I know, it's not even illegal. It's not a controlled substance, as far as I know. If you do drink adrenochrome, it just gives you a headache. That's it. There's nothing special about adrenochrome. But all of the buzzwords that this guy is using, all put together, spell QAnon. All of the stuff he's talking about are QAnon talking points. I knew this guy was QAnon, but hearing him come out and say it so blatantly, hearing him dog whistle at best, use the language that you hear from them like this so blatantly, was unexpected, honestly. I didn't expect to hear him come out and say it so plainly, but here we are. If you were wondering what Jeff Jansen was up to, formerly of Global Fire Ministries, he's QAnon now, and he's open about it. And apparently he hasn't been deterred by the fact that every prophecy he made fell flat. Captain Gars, I must amend my prior statement. The blood libel is massively malicious. How can we classify this as Christianity when it's so apocryphal? Right? Well, the thing is about this, it's not just Christianity. His belief system is like a mix of different things. It's a mix of Christianity and COVID skepticism and anti-Semitism. It's just a mix of all kinds of stuff. Now, if you ask him straight up, if you get in his face and say, do you hate Jewish people? He would almost certainly say no. He has no problem with Jewish people. but he's using all of the same tropes of blood libel, all of the same loaded language about elites controlling Hollywood and all the other shit that was being said about Jewish people in the 1940s. They are the world's scapegoat and have been for centuries, millennia maybe. He may not believe himself to be anti-Semitic, and he may not hold any blatantly, plainly anti-Semitic views, but the ideas and conspiracies and beliefs that he adheres to are plainly anti-Semitic, inherently anti-Semitic. That's just what it is. He may not like that. He may disagree with it, but that's what it is, man. You spread the blood libel trope, and you talk about Hollywood elites controlling things and, sacrificing kids to your gods and all the other shit. That's a more polite version of anti-Semitism, as far as I'm concerned. It's still absolutely unacceptable.